Hello everyone, it's Sam from Anthers Makes. Today I thought I would show you a few of my past makes. I've been crocheting now for about 6, maybe 7 years. I learnt to crochet through a friend of mine who had a real passion for crochet, and she wanted to pass what she knew on about the art of crochet. And I thought, it was at a time where 2 of my children were at school and my youngest was at preschool for a morning every week. So I thought I'd go along, check it out, see if it was something that I'd be interested in. Also something that I could do maybe of an evening when the children were in bed to keep me busy and occupied. I took my nan with me. My nan's been knitting for many, many years. She loves knitting, and I thought maybe she could put crochet in her skill set. She went for a few weeks. She tried her best. She didn't really get along with crochet, so she still came with me every week, but she sat in a corner and continued with her knitting, while I still carried on learning a few bits and pieces about crochet. So I thought, because I took you on a walk last time and it wasn't anything really to do with crochet, the only thing I could really do, seeing as I don't really want to be in front of the camera still, is to show you some of the things that I've made in the past. These are just things that I have to hand at home. Obviously, along the years, I've made many, many, many other things. These have mostly been gifted, or people have asked for things and I've done it and gifted them to them that way. I have had a handful of people request if I could make something specific, and they've either paid for the pattern and the wool, I've made it and given it to them, or they have actually paid me a nice bit of money for the finished item, my time, my effort, that sort of thing. But mainly I gift my items, and it's not very often I make things for myself. I have done a few things, but I'm sure a lot of you are the same, where you gift most of the things you make. So what you can see in front of you is probably one of the oldest things that I still own. I did this within the first year of my crochet learning. There was a popular television program on at the time called Cowl the Midwife. A lot of viewers really loved the blanket pattern that they had spotted in the scenes of the program, and somebody very kindly shared the pattern. I'll try and put links to the patterns in the description box. I don't know whether this will be successful or not, as I only have a phone. I don't have a computer or a laptop. I don't know how easy it will be copy and pasting links and putting them in those boxes. But as I go through, I will try and tell you where I got the pattern from, who did the pattern, what tutorial I followed. So if you want a piece of paper and a pen to jot these down, then that could be another way where you make a note of where to find these patterns. Okay, so as I said, this was part of a television program over here. I have heard a few of you talk about Cowl the Midwife in your lives and some of the videos that you've done. I jumped on the bandwagon and did it again. I took the opportunity with this one though at the time, because I was still fairly new, to practice my colour changes. I was okay with just continuing in one colour, but I thought this is a good opportunity to learn how to change colours. Obviously, because I did a lighter border, you can see where the colour joins here. But as a first attempt, I don't think I did too badly. But to do this pattern, I actually found a tutorial posted on YouTube, and the lady that I followed was somebody called Jonna Martinez. She posted back in 2016, although when I looked today to find where I found my patterns, I've seen that many other people since then have done video tutorials on this also. Because I'm a mum of 3 boys, I also took the opportunity to do some more girly colours as well, just so that I felt like I wasn't swimming in lots of boyish colours and things. It is bigger, I've obviously folded it. This one would probably only be big enough as a small baby blanket or something like that. So that's the Cowl the Midwife pattern by Jonna Martinez, which you can find on YouTube. Okay, so the next thing that I would like to show you is my bee. It's not my pattern. I think I told you in my last video that I can't at the moment create my own patterns. I rely on other people to bring out lovely tutorials and written patterns for me to either buy or find for free. This one, I followed a YouTube tutorial by a lady called Hooked by Robin. I don't know if any of you are familiar with her. I call him Barry. She doesn't call her Bee Barry, but he sits on my wool unit that I have in another room, just as a mascot of you tried amigurumi and you did it. So I do at some point want to learn how you can join the stripes of colours without this jump that you get. I have seen several people say there's tutorials for this, so at some point I will learn how to get my stripes more uniform. But as a first attempt a couple of years ago, I was super chuffed with how Barry turned out. So yeah, that's Barry, and again, that's Hooked by Robin. You can find her on YouTube. The next thing that I want to discuss, well, the next few things, the things I made during the COVID pandemic that we are still unfortunately living through. Here in the UK, it was decided that people were going to hang rainbows in their windows, just to brighten up a bit of a gloomy time that we were living through. Another idea was because we were only allowed 1 hour daily walks at the beginning of lockdown, adults and children could walk along their local area and play Spot the Rainbow. I decided to do several different ones. I did a more, traditional darker colour rainbow here. I did neon brights on this one, and then I did a pastel one here. So actually they could spot 3 when they walk past my house. The pattern that I used for this one is called Rainbow Showers, and it's by Cute Crochet Makes. I actually printed off the pattern and followed the written instructions for this. It is it's a free pattern on Ravelry. She puts smiley faces on her rainbows, and she also had hanging raindrops underneath the arch of the rainbow. I chose to leave those off. I wanted a more traditional rainbow for people to spot. But if you do download that pattern from Ravelry, you will see that she's got embellishments on the rainbow itself and the raindrops that fall down. I posted these on my Facebook page, and a few family members and friends liked them, and they asked me to make some for their houses, which I did. But I kept one of each colourway that I did, and I still have them hanging in my house normally, apart from obviously showing you today in this video. So yeah, that's the rainbows. I also like the idea that she used hearts for the cloud. I thought that was a real cute detail. So yeah, that's those. Another thing during the pandemic, I've just got one today, but there was a shout out by hospitals and residential homes for the elderly, places like that, where they were trying to come up with an idea of families still feeling connected even when they were apart. And the idea is they asked for people to send in a pair of hearts, 2 hearts, where one could be with either the patient poorly in hospital or the elderly family member in a residential home, and the other one could stay with the family, so that they were connected by heart even though they weren't together. And I think over the course of the start of the pandemic, and up until about last year, I was getting requests for them. I think I must have done about 200 pairs of them in total, and I did it out of the goodness of my heart, sorry the pun, because I felt like it was just a small way that I could help and maybe ease some of the stress and the worry and the upset that was going on in the world. And it kept me busy because I was struggling with lockdown, as I'm sure many of us did. So yeah, I thought that was a nice quick way of showing support, and that there are people out in the world that do care about others that are in a less or a more unfortunate situation than we are ourselves. Another thing during the pandemic, now I can't show you one that I've made, because I've actually donated them, but a pattern came out, and I won't show you the pattern, I don't want to get into trouble, for these Frontline bears. The hat is removable, the mask is removable. Again, it's a amigurumi. This was a free pattern by Axane Legasto from Yarn It Darn It, called the Frontline Hero Bear. And again, I donated some of these to children who were in hospital at the time, just to give them a little comfort, a little toy, because obviously they can take the hat and the mask off, make them feel like people were thinking of them while they were poorly in hospital. But mostly at the beginning, obviously masks were a strange concept, and a lot of children were struggling with the fact that everybody they saw wore a mask, whether it be in hospital or out in the real world, at home, their parents might have been wearing one. And that actually masks aren't anything to be afraid of, it's to keep us safe. And if a Frontline hero bear can wear one, then it's okay for everybody else to wear one too. I think I did about 15 to 20 of these bears, and like I said, donated them to children in hospital just to give them a little bit of comfort. So that's the Frontline hero bear. It says at the top there, a free pattern. Again, I printed it off and followed the written instructions. I think there are a couple of video tutorials online if you look for them, but I chose to follow the written pattern on this one. And again, it's by that person there from Yarn It Darn It. Again, it was just something I felt like I wanted to do to contribute, keep myself busy, feel like I was helping in some small way. And I actually enjoyed making them. They were quite fun. Another thing that I'd like to show you is I have dabbled a little bit in the Mosaic crochet that a lot of you love. These are zippered purses. They do open, I can't do it one-handed. I found a lady called Tina. I do struggle saying her surname, so I'm not even going to attempt it. This is a paid for pattern, so you will have to pay for this pattern, but any of her Mosaic designs you can incorporate in these, because you take a zip and you start sewing and crocheting onto the zip and working from the zip down and seaming it along the bottom. Now, because these were my first real attempts at Mosaic, I have missed stitches. As you can see on this one, the join on the side is rather wonky, but I'm still proud of them because it was something new that I tried, hadn't done it before. Patterns on both sides, and they're just nice little handy notion pouches or pencil cases or makeup cases or something like that, that you could put your little bits and bobs in. So I gave it a go. I would like to do some more Mosaic, but obviously blankets take a lot of time. So I haven't actually done a blanket. I've just done these at the moment. And I plan to do some more to perfect how to do the Mosaic style of crochet. Another quick make that I made was this little bookmark. I was fed up of using a scrap piece of paper to mark my place. So I decided, get some of your cotton out, Sam, make yourself a bookmark. I'm no good at making up my own designs, so again I looked around on YouTube, and this one is a YouTube tutorial by Liza Walters. It is a free YouTube tutorial, and it's just one continuous string of hearts and works quite nicely as a bookmark. And I chose this nice purple colour because I don't really have a lot of purple. So yeah, that's my bookmark. Bag a Day, Crystal at Bag a Day, she released a tutorial for these scrappy butterflies. They're nice quick little makes, one of the more detailed butterflies that you can find out there. There's lots of butterfly patterns, but I really liked Crystal's pattern, and I did these in between bigger projects just so that I could cleanse my palette of what I was doing, give myself a break from some of the more intense patterns that are out there. Just quick little makes. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them. But yeah, they're just nice little makes to do, and I'm a huge Bag a Day fan, so I wanted to do one of her makes. So that's those. I also found a pattern for an owl applique. These are real bits of twig or stick or branch, whatever you want to call them. And I thought they were cute and fun. In the original pattern, they didn't have googly eyes. The googly eyes are my little added extra. She actually made a magic ring with single crochets inside and then embroidered the pupil in the middle. But to save me some time, I just hot glued some googly eyes on them, and they are meant to be an applique, but I again tweaked it a little bit to my wantings, and I've actually put a fridge magnet on the back. Again, hot glued the fridge magnet, and I just thought they were quite cute to put your little notes on your fridge or your children's pictures or something. So that was my take on the owl applique, and the tutorial I've followed, which is a free one again on YouTube, is by Annie Tugushi. Again, sorry if I've butchered that name, but if you type in crochet owl applique, I'm sure you'll find this tutorial when you look for it. So yeah, like I said, changed the eyes, glued a fridge magnet on, gave it a bit more of a purpose, as I wasn't going to sew them onto clothing or blankets or anything like that. So that's those. A craze that swept across the UK last year are these little guys. They're called Worryworms. The original pattern was by a lady called Sam Cloud, but Sam Cloud gave Hooked by Robin permission to do a video tutorial on them. The idea behind these is that they're given to adults or children who suffer from anxiety or a nervous disposition, and that they could talk to their worryworms, tell them their problems, that the worryworms will listen, and, you know, sort of help them feel a little bit better with what was on their mind at the time. Hooked by Robin does use googly eyes, so these are hot glued on again. But again, to put my little spin on it, I've actually hot glued a little pom-pom for a nose, as I thought it made them a little bit cuter. So again, you can find this pattern by Hooked by Robin on YouTube, and I think they're super cute. A couple of my sons actually have a keyring. I've put a keyring through the head, and they've got them on their rucksacks as zip pulls. So that's the Worryworms. The next thing is this Windspinner. I wanted something to hang in my window. Excuse the scruffy tie at the top. And basically the idea is that these could be either indoor or outdoors, and with the wind they spin and twirl and twist, and just add a little bit of decor to your garden or your home. I added a tassel on the bottom of mine just for a little bit of extra flair, I suppose, and I hang this up in my upstairs window, you know, maybe just to catch somebody's eye. But I love this rainbow yarn that I used. It's a very simple pattern. I followed a YouTube tutorial by a lady called Ophelia Talks. So again, that's a free tutorial if you want to check her out. She's very clear and concise with her directions, and it was just something to hang in my window as it was looking a little bit bare. I've only made it out of acrylic, so I wouldn't put this one outside, I don't think. Not in the Cornish weather where it's always wet and miserable. I think it would get soggy and a bit mouldy very quickly. The next thing that I've been making, and these I've been making fairly recently in the last couple of months. Sorry about the camera skills. I'm doing this one-handed. And I'll try and show you a bit better. This is my mannequin. I call her Deirdre. I don't know why I call her Deirdre, but as you can see, she has this cowl around her neck, which this hood is attached to. You just fold the brim of the hood back just to give it a nicer finish. If I turn her to the side, you can see that there is a bit of a point at the back, but I think that gives it a bit of a cool ninja-like look. And obviously the cowl as well, because it's attached all in one piece, you can actually unfold it, excuse me, and it can go up over your nose on a super cold day as well. So you can wear it around your neck to keep you warm, up over your nose to keep you warm, hood up or hood down. The hood does obviously come down. But yeah, they're pretty quick and easy to make. Most of the makes that you've seen I make out of Stylecraft, Special Stylecraft DK or Aran. I buy most of my wool from the wool warehouse. I haven't been very adventurous in the wools that I use or yarns that I use. So most of it has been Stylecraft Special, and that is 100% acrylic. This one, however, that I'm going to show you is it's one of the projects that I'm most proud of. I was gifted this book, Zumigurumi 2. I can't see. There isn't one author. There's lots of different authors with lots of different patterns inside. And I was having a flick through because I think these are so cute. And my youngest son came in while I was looking at it and said, "Oh my goodness, mummy, I love him. I love him. Can you make me one?" Because turtles are his favourite animal. I said, you know, if I find time, I will try, but I was working full time at the time and I had other projects on the go. So I said, you know, I don't know when, but yes, I will. And then of an evening when he was in bed, because I knew he wanted one, I worked on one for him. And here he is. Now, the pattern is called Otto the Turtle, and it is by Camlin Patterns. I changed him up a little bit because I couldn't, if I'm being honest, it's the eyes that I've changed a little bit. I couldn't really get on with the felt that they used on the original, as you can see there. So I just got some extra big googly eyes and put those in there. They're safety eyes. He is a bit fuzzy. He is looking a bit tatty because my youngest son has loved him so hard. And he still sleeps with him every night. Still loves him massively. And it was last year's birthday in July that he got this one. But he was a really fun make. He was pretty simple to understand. I would say this is more of an intermediate or an advanced crochet pattern, just because, you know, if you're just starting out, amigurumi can be a bit tricky. And on the back, I went a little bit freestyle on the pattern of his shell, which again, you can see he's a bit scruffy and he needs a bit of tidying up. But that just shows that the item you've made has been loved and appreciated. And actually it warms my heart that he's a little bit scruffy, because I know that he was appreciated a lot by my son, and it took me quite a while to actually complete him. But yeah, I was super pleased with him. So that's Otto the Turtle from the Zumigurumi 2 book. There is a whole series of these books. I haven't got them all yet, but I have started collecting those. And then I thought, just to finish off, I'll show you quickly what I'm working on at the moment. I am doing a cowl, a crochet along with Kerry the Yarny Elephant, and we are doing the Whatcha-ma-call-it Blanket. It's a paid for pattern. It's by Hooked on Sunshine, I think. I haven't got very far. I've only done 15 rows. But basically you do the first 11 rows and then the next 12 rows. That's the repeat, and you just keep doing that repeat around and around and around until you get it to the size that you want it. So I'm only just starting the first repeat here, so I've still got a long way to go, but I'm really enjoying it. It's making me think a little bit more. It's not mindless crochet. You do have to concentrate. There is a lot of counting and things like that, but the stitches are pretty simple, and as long as you can do your basic stitches and you're happy to do back post and front post and back loop only, you should be able to do this pattern. And it is very, very beautiful. And the yarn that I chose to use, now normally, like I said, I would use Stylecraft Special, but I thought, you know what, Sam, try a different yarn. So I'm using Hayfield Spirit double knitting in this lovely pastel-y rainbow As you can see, it recommends a 4mm 8 UK or a USA needle, or a 4mm US F5 crochet hook. Machine washable on a wool cycle, dry flat, reshape while wet. Can be dry cleaned but wash dark colours separately. And it's in the shade 0408. And this one is 100 grams. You get 345 meters or 377 yards. And it has got a mixture of, I was going to say ingredients then, fibres. 20% wool, 20% villa, 20% lelaine, 20% woolly, 20% lana and 20% wool. So yes, that is... No, I have completely messed that up. They're doing it in different languages. I do apologise. Laugh at me. Feel free to laugh at me. So it's 80% acrylic and 20% wool. There we go. I feel a bit silly now. But yes, this is the Hayfield Spirit. All these lovely rainbow colours. And as you can see, they are developing through my blanket. And I thought I would break up the rainbow with this. And this is the Hayfield Bonus Glitter Extra Value Double Knitting. It has got sparkles. I don't know if you can see the sparkles very well. It's very pretty. And let's try not to be embarrassing with this one. So it's 100 grams, 296 meters or 324 yards, 95% acrylic, 5% polyester. It's made in Wakefield, England. The shade is 0220. 4mm or an F5 again for that one. Crochet hook, and then 4mm needle or a USA 6 knitting needle, and machine washable on a wool cycle, dry flat, reshape while wet, all that sort of thing. So yeah, that's the bonus glitter, and that's the Hayfield Spirit. So I've kept you for nearly half an hour. I am so sorry. I didn't realise that it would take so long to go through some of the things that I've made. If you have any questions about anything that I've shown you, if you'd like me to repeat where I've got patterns from, or any question at all really, please drop it in the comments. I do try and reply to everyone that does drop a comment, or on my about page on my channel there is my email address. Feel free to drop me an email. I'll respond to you as soon as I can. Yeah, so I hope this was interesting, or that you got some information. Maybe I've inspired you to do a couple of bits and pieces, I don't know. So yeah, I'll leave you looking at my work in progress. I hope you all have a lovely day. It's fast approaching lunchtime here, so I'm going to go and grab myself some lunch. But yeah, have a good day. Hope the rest of your week is good. We're nearly at the weekend. And hopefully soon I will get up the courage to be face on camera, but we'll see. Like I said, baby steps. If you have watched to the end, I super appreciate it. I know that long videos sometimes don't interest you, but I didn't realise I had so much to talk about, so apologies for that. I'll try and maybe do smaller chunks of time in my video. But yeah, that's just, like I said, that's just a few of my bits and pieces that I wanted to show you. So stay warm at the moment, those of you that have got snow. If you haven't got snow, if you know, you live somewhere hot and going through your summer at the minute, I hope you stay nice and cool. So whatever the weather, stay safe, look after yourself, and like I said, please comment any questions you have, or if there was something you particularly liked, tell me what you liked. Yeah, thanks guys, bye.